Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the previous class, if you people remind, we discussed about balance of payment. That was the last topic in that, at which factors are affecting portfolio investment, which factors are affecting foreign direct investment, and which factors are affecting the trade. Today, we are going to start the next chapter, that is international financial markets. International financial markets, basically there are four types of international markets. The first one is international money market, then international credit market, the third one is international bond market, and the last one is international equity market. So first we will discuss about international money market. Now, sorry. Now look at this. Local corporations needs funds for operations and government need aid for budget deficits. Keep in mind one thing, sorry. When you are working inside a country, suppose this is Afghanistan, this is a company. So companies need funds for their operations, and they need funds when they want to expand their operations or they want to run their daily operations. And the government need funds for budget deficit. You know about deficit, when revenues are less and expenses are more high. So then at that time government need funds, short term funds. We are talking about money market, and you know about money market, that it is that market in which those instruments whose maturity is less than 1 year are traded. And government needs, when government needs short-term funds, they are issuing T-bills. Locally, inside the country. When corporations need funds, they issue commercial papers. But inside the country. So here he's talking about that. Local corporations need funds for operations and government need aid for budget deficits. Local individuals and institutions provide funds in the forms of short-term deposit to commercial bank. Now, locally, This is public. And there are institutions, corporations, companies, individuals. What are they doing? They are giving funds to commercial banks. Suppose this is commercial banks, store all the commercial banks. So they are giving funds to commercial banks, these companies and these individuals. They are giving funds to commercial banks. Either corporations and government may issue different type of short-term securities. And we discussed here that corporations are issuing short-term securities and governments they are issuing short-term securities. Government is issuing T-bills and corporations are issuing commercial papers. So here he is talking about this. See, either corporations and government may issue different type of short-term securities. See, when corporations are in need of money, this, so they are issuing commercial papers. They are issuing commercial papers. And when this government is in need of funds, they are issuing T-bills. In this way, inside the country, the government and corporations they are fulfilling their need of funds. Growth of international business has caused multinationals and governments to acquire funds denominated in other currencies. Nowadays, there are companies which are called multinational. These companies. Multinational means which are operating in more than one countries. So now you know that because of globalization, the world becomes a global village. Suppose these are different countries of the world. So now what is happening that if corporations they need funds, so it is not must that they will raise funds in the country in which they are operating. Suppose there is a US company whose head office is here in USA, but they are working, they are operating in Afghanistan. So it is not must that they will raise funds in USA. They can also raise funds in Afghanistan, they can also raise funds in Pakistan, they can also raise funds in India, in Germany, anywhere in the world. They will raise funds in those countries in which the cost of fund it is low. So here he is talking about that growth of international business has caused multinationals and governments also can issue these short-term securities outside the country to acquire funds denominated in other currencies. What will be the rule for raising these funds? There will be some specific rule. Company can borrow funds to pay imports denominated in foreign currency and support their local operations. Keep in mind why companies are borrowing funds. I told you. First thing, local operations. And second thing is if they are importing something, from foreign country. For that purpose, they need foreign currency. So then they are borrowing funds in foreign currency. Take an example. Suppose this is Afghanistan and this is a company in Afghanistan. Now they need some machinery from Germany. They want to import that machinery to Afghanistan. Shortly I'm writing MACH, machinery. They need machinery. They want to import machinery. And for that purpose, they will make payments in euros. So they need euros. Maybe that machinery is too much expensive. So what will they do? They will raise funds. They will take funds. And they will take what? They will take euros. So they will take euros in some country. I don't know which country. Now we will discuss about that. See, company can borrow funds to pay imports denominated in foreign currency and support their local operations. They need machinery and they will import that machinery and they will import that machinery in foreign currency, that is euros. They may borrow in a currency that will depreciate against their home currency. Look at this. They may borrow in a currency that will depreciate against their home currency. Now keep in mind, if you will borrow a currency from a country whose currency will depreciate, you will be in benefit. Why? Suppose this is a company of USA and that company needs funds. Suppose that US company is coming to Afghanistan. There is a bank in Afghanistan. $1 today, it is equal to, suppose, 80 Afghanis. Now suppose they need $100,000. Take an example. How much? $100,000. So they are contacting the bank here in Afghanistan. $100,000 multiplied by 80 Afghanis. So it will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this much. Means 80 lakh Afghanis. They will borrow 80 lakh Afghanis. Suppose the interest rate that this bank is charging is 10% annually. Okay, they took a loan for 1 year, short-term loan. and the interest is 10%. So means they will pay 80 multiplied by 10%, so it will become 10%, 10 divided by 100, so it will be 8 lakh. Means the interest charges for 1 year will be 8 lakh Afghanis. Mean after 1 year they will pay 80 lakh plus 8 lakh. Means they will repay 88 lakh. They will repay 88 lakh to this bank in Afghanistan. Now what happened? After 1 year, what happened? Afghanis depreciate. Afghan Afghanistan currency it depreciate. Now it is $1 is equal to 90 Afghanis. Now what will happen after 1 year? This bank will repay this money to Afghanistan bank, this bank which is in Afghanistan. How much they took? They took $100,000. Means 80 lakh, but they convert 80 lakh to dollars at that time, so it becomes $100,000. Now when they will repay this money, so they will convert $100,000 back to Afghanis and will repay this loan to the bank in Afghanistan. So this is $100,000. Now, what is the exchange rate? Exchange rate is 90. Now they convert it, so it becomes 90 lakh. It becomes 90 lakh. So now how much will they repay? They will repay 80 lakh plus, see, this 8 lakh, 88 lakh. And see, when they convert it, it becomes how much? 90 lakh. So mean they get 2 lakh extra. Mean the interest that this bank was charging, the 8 lakh, they earned that interest in the exchange rate. Exchange rate was $1 to 80, now it becomes $1 to 90. And because of exchange rate, the company in USA, this company, they got some benefit. And what is that benefit? They earned 10 lakh in the exchange rate. See, at that time when they convert it was 80 lakh and now it becomes how much? 90 lakh. So the interest payment that they were making 10%, they earned that interest in the exchange rate. So when you will take loan, you will take loan in that currency which will depreciate against your currency. So see, the US company, they were expecting that Afghanis will depreciate, Afghani currency will depreciate. So they took loan here in Afghanistan. And now when they are repaying that loan, so they earned that interest that they were making, the payment of interest, they earned that payment in the exchange rate. At that time, $1 was equal to 80. Now $1 is equal to 90. So because of the depreciation of the Afghani currency, they are in profits. Previously, $1 was 80. Means You were paying 80 Afghanis to purchase $1, and now you're paying 90 Afghanis to purchase $1. So mean Afghanis depreciate. So because of this depreciation, this company in USA, they are in benefit. So see here, what is he saying? They may borrow in a currency that will depreciate against their home currency. If they will depreciate against their home currency, what will be the benefit? In exchange rate, they will earn some money. MNC based in USA may acquire loans from Afghanistan as Afghani will depreciate against US dollar and it will become easy to pay higher interest rate. The higher interest rate, which was 10%, it is now easy for them to pay that interest rate. We will discuss about this in the next class, this thing, because it will take time. Okay, inshallah, meet in the next class. Assalamu alaikum.